So back at it again, All Access Network exclusive. We got head coach from Dallas Baptist University, DBU, Blake Flickner. Hello, Coach. How you doing?
Coach Burton, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, excited to have you on, Coach. So you guys are in the bus. I love it. En route to the fourth NCAA tournament in a row. Talk about this season and being able to go for a fourth time in a row and fifth time in 6 years. So talk about you're used to this trip now. It may be a different location, but talk about this year's run.
Yeah, it's pretty special. We never want to take for granted what it means to be in the NCAA tournament. It's a big deal. There's a lot of teams that would like to still be playing that aren't, and so we're really thankful for that. Obviously, the players have been incredible, and this year in particular has been special just because of all the adversity and the uniqueness of this season that we've had to endure, and because we missed out on the tournament last year. Last year we were on this trip on the way to the NCAA tournament when the thing got canceled and we had to turn around and go back home. So we're excited to be playing and looking forward to the opportunity.
Yeah, so D2 is near and dear to my heart. My brother was he's in the same conference. He coaches on the women's side, and they went all the way out to Lubbock, and then they didn't get to play. So, gotta be rewarding to be able to actually play this year in the tournament, even though you didn't get to play last year. Talk about what it's been like coaching at your level during this pandemic, real quick, before we go to your team.
Yeah, it's been an unusual year for sure. There's been a lot that a year ago we didn't know, we didn't understand. Trying to figure out what was this going to be like. How do we do the right thing by our community and by our campus? Broke last spring. We didn't know how long we were going to be gone. It was spring break. They said, well, we're going to extend spring break for 1 week, and then no, it's one more week, and no, we're going to go all the way through the spring semester online. And so we were staying at home, sheltering in place, and then slowly we're able to come back to work and start to do more things. And thankfully, we've been really blessed. Our campus and our team have been really fortunate. We haven't had anybody get seriously sick, and but there's just always that kind of cloud hanging over, knowing that somebody might test positive at any moment. That could send your team into quarantine and put everything on pause. We just saw news just minutes ago of Duke, having to cancel their season in the middle of the ACC tournament. So you just never know.
Right. Yeah, all of it's a blessing. Talk about. So I'm from Dallas. That's home for me. I've known you for a long time. I think you might have even recruited me back when you were at Eastfield as an assistant, and
a
long time ago. So, but you started the program. You got hired in a year before the program started, and you got to recruit and build your infrastructure for a year. Started from scratch, and now here you are, where you're winning championships, going to NCAA tournaments. I think one of 10 teams in D2 to go 4 years in a row, and then you've gone 5 out of the last 6 years. What has it been like to build it from scratch, and what would you say is kind of attributed to the success?
Yeah, well, I feel really blessed. I think God's allowed me to be in a good situation at a good school and working with good people. Brandon Kern was my assistant for 10 years, and he was phenomenal and a wonderful guy to work with and really helped me as a very young head coach to get started. And now, Coach Glenn and I have been together for 5 years, and just a couple of the best in the business. We've got a lot of other good younger assistants that have been with us. And our university is really a great place. It's a great academic institution. It's a great place where God's being honored and people are growing spiritually. And it's in the city of Dallas. And so we're fortunate. We've got a beautiful campus and a lot of good things, which makes it an easy sell. And so we just feel really blessed. Feel like we're in a good spot. I know there's a lot of people that would love to have the things that we have. And so we don't want to take that for granted. We enjoy it. And it's been fun to build it. From the beginning when I or any basketballs or jump ropes or anything. And so we got to put a team together and start trying to figure this thing out. And we went to one NCAA tournament my first 9 years, and now we've been to 5 out of the last 6. And so it took some time to really build, but we've got a good, strong foundation and good players and good kids.
Right. What do you think it was, Coach, if you had to say? I was able to coach against you during that time. I probably, when I was in junior college, helped you get players. Then I coached against you. And so I got to see you during that first 9 years. You guys were good, but not in the level that you are now. What do you think what it was for you that was that moment of breakthrough? What was the difference? I know you've had great players and great assistants, but what do you think clicked for you as a leader to say, you know what, we're going to do this different and we're sticking to this no matter what?
Well, as a coach, there's always a little bit of a trial and error every year, trying to get better, trying to grow. And when I got the job here, I was really young. I'd had some good experiences, been around some good people, worked for some great coaches. But I was still growing. I feel like we've gotten better, as a coaching staff each year. But really, it comes down to your talent and your players. And we had some real breakthrough, signees, and Joey Miller and Jules Miranda were guys that I really think helped elevate the program to the next level. And then Patrick Burke came in, was just a perfect fit with those guys. And once we began to have a little bit of success, that really started to build. And we've continued to recruit really good players. I think we've had 3 of the conference freshmen of the year in the last 5 years. And so continually, good players coming in. And that's what it comes down to. We take a lot of pride as coaches in what we do, but if you don't have good players, it doesn't matter. And our players have been phenomenal. They're unselfish. They work hard. They do everything we ask. And we've been blessed to have some guys with some really high-level talent. And so that's been a huge part of it. So it's kind of started to grow and started to snowball, developing a bit of a reputation. When I first got here, nobody knew anything about DBU basketball because there was no DBU basketball.
Right.
People had heard of our baseball program, but now we're starting to kind of be on the radar a little bit. People know who we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's been a cool place to see guys in Texas, but also just guys in Dallas to understand how good it is to go to DBU. Guys that may have opportunity to maybe be Division I players is just like, you know what, I'm gonna stay right here at home at DBU and make this a special place because you can have a similar, if not better, experience because we're gonna win, we're gonna be at home, and we're gonna be treated well. What would you want people to know about DBU that maybe don't know about DBU as a school, as a program? What would you want people to know?
Yeah, well, you hit on a few things there. Just being around good people. We're a private Christian school. Our faith is really important to us. And every professor, every coach our players have are going to be people that are serious about their faith, serious about trying to follow the Lord. And we're going to be pouring into our guys. I think the relationships we have with our players are really unique and really special. Obviously basketball is huge. We want to win a national championship, and that's a big driving force for what we do. But we love our players on and off the court, and we're helping them grow as men. We've been fortunate to have one of the highest GPAs in our conference year in and year out. Guys are doing really well academically. We've had a number of guys that have gone on to play professionally, but a number of guys that have got a master's degree or gone to law school or done really exciting things outside of basketball because they're getting a great education. They're growing as men. They're around good people. We really take a lot of pride in our player development. We want to help guys get better each and every year. We focus on fundamental things and how can we help you improve from whatever level you're at to get to the next level to really be the best that you can be. And you mentioned, some guys are choosing to turn down Division I scholarships to come to a place like DBU because of the fit, because it's a great school, it's a great educational opportunity, it's a chance to win a lot of games, be surrounded by good people, and 50 years from now, the relationships you have are what's going to really last. Is more important than being able to say on Twitter that, hey, I signed D1. If you end up being in a situation where it's not a good fit or not around good people, or a place where they're going to love you and pour into you and help you grow. And we've got great relationships with our alumni. They love to come back to the game, and we stay in touch. And that's something we really want to help cultivate and really feel like the program is a family from all the guys that have come before and the guys that will continue to come afterwards. So we work hard at trying to make that be a reality. A lot of people talk about family. This program is a family, but sometimes it's just a slogan on a T-shirt and nothing more. And we want more than that.
Yeah, I think you've definitely done a great job, elite job at that. And I think the way you guys have embraced the city too, trying to plug in and those relationships. So it's an understood thing what DBU basketball means in the basketball community now in the city of Dallas versus just like, oh yeah, that's a school and it's a second option. I think guys really understand this legitimate priority type option. And if you get an offer from DBU, that means something pretty significant now versus maybe what it did before. So credit to you guys on that. You talked about players and being the difference. Talk about the players on this year's team and what makes this year's team another special one.
Yeah. Well, we had a couple guys that we lost early in the season. Jules Miranda has been a special player for us, and he tore his ACL and his knee second game of the season, and it really hurt our depth. We went from feeling like we had a deep team to getting really thin. We had a lot of young guys. We leaned on those freshmen a lot and expected a lot out of them from an early standpoint. And those guys have really stepped up to the challenge. But we've also had some really good upperclassmen. Chandler Jacobs is a fourth-year senior for us, and he was a freshman of the year his freshman year, and he's continued to progress. Been an excellent scorer throughout his career, but this year was Lone Star Conference Defensive Player of the Year as well as the Academic Player of the Year. He's been a phenomenal student throughout his career. And then we got a couple of juniors in Carson Hughes and Jalen White. Carson's a local kid from Keller, and those guys have just had phenomenal careers and continue to get better each and every year. And then we got an international player, William Heather, that's been really special this year, and just kind of a Nikolai Jokic type player. He's very skilled. He's got great post moves, but also a great passer. Can almost facilitate, almost run him as a point guard in a lot of scenarios where he can distribute and create for other guys, which is really special. So it's a special group. They've really bonded. They've been close together. They have a lot of fun together, and we're excited to keep playing. We want to keep this journey going as long as we can.
Yeah, and since you've done this a few times now, Coach, 5 of the last 6 years, what changes as a coach and as a team when you go to this season? So you have preseason, and you have conference season, and you have one of the best conferences in the country that you play in, the Lone Star Conference. So you can feel free to touch on that. And then kind of last question, what is the approach as you go into not just the conference tournament, but now you're going to the NCAAs? How does that approach change?
Yeah, so we talk about from day one, trying to get better each and every day. We want to play our best at the end of the year, so we focus on the process of improving. We don't want to peak in December. Hopefully we're peaking in March. The challenge with that is staying healthy because the season can be such a grind. But, we want to get better all throughout the season. You mentioned the difficulty of our conference, and Lone Star is so deep. We had teams that were in the national top 25 and didn't get invited to the NCAA tournament this year, which is just unbelievable. And to just see the depth of this league and the number of teams. I think we had 4 teams that were in the top 10 in the country at some point during the season. And one of those teams didn't make the NCAA tournament, which just shows how hard it is, how special it is, and how deep this conference is. It's hard, and it can be a bit of a grind. But we just focus on getting better. And as you go into the postseason, in a lot of ways, nothing changes. You're continuing to try and what can we do better? How can we do the game plan? How can we stay focused? But in some ways, everything changes. Now those sets that everybody in your conference knows, now you get an opportunity to pull them back out again because you're playing maybe a non-conference opponent that doesn't know you quite as well. Maybe some of those sets will work again, but you're also facing an opponent that you don't know as well. So you're scrambling to do your scouting, and it's so hard to compare teams conference to conference and just try and figure out how are we comparing apples to apples when we're looking at stats and different strengths and weaknesses. But we just want to focus on each possession and each 4-minute stretch and go out and have fun and give it everything we got. So in some ways it's a new season. We tell the guys we're 0-0, but then it's just another game, and we just got to go out there and try to be better today than we were yesterday.
Right.
Our strength coach loves to tell the guys, beat yesterday's you. Can you beat yesterday's you?
I like it. I like that one. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. I know you're getting prepped and you're on the bus and probably need your pre-travel ritual, pre-game ritual, whatever you may do. But we appreciate you taking the time and just want to let you have any last words. I'm so excited for you. I'm a huge fan. I consider you to be a great friend and somebody I've looked up to and had as a teammate going through this stuff and all the different journey that we've had in this coaching thing and known you since I was a player. So excited for what you're doing. That's home for me. So excited for you guys to make another run. So thanks for taking the time, and we'll let you have any last words and let you run.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. I just want to echo what you said. You've been well, it's been fun to watch you playing and coaching career, and all the things that you're doing. And love to see you and your wife and your kids on social media and the pictures that you've shared, and just happy and excited for you and what God's doing in your life, and excited to see what He's got planned in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Coach. And yeah, go get them in the tournament and travel safe. And we'll be talking to you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Coach.